Hello, welcome in. We are solving mechanical engineering paper 2 of year 2025 of civil services mains exam. Question number 4B is a stationary gas turbine plant operates on a Brayton cycle and delivers 20 megawatt to an electric generator. The maximum temperature is 1200 Kelvin and the minimum temperature is 290 Kelvin. The minimum pressure is 95 kPa and the maximum pressure is 380 kPa. If the isentropic efficiencies of turbine and compressor are 0.85 and 0.8 respectively, find 1 the mass flow rate of air to the compressor, 2 the volume flow rate of air to the compressor, 3 the fraction of turbine work output needed to drive the compressor, 4 the cycle efficiency. If the if a generator of 75% effectiveness is added to the plant, what would be the changes in the cycle efficiency and net work output? Assume Cp and Cv for air as 1.05 kilogram per kilogram per degree Kelvin and 0.718 kilojoule per kilogram per degree Kelvin respectively. So this is your Brayton cycle. So this is the intake of air, and then there is 1 to 2 dash compression, 2 dash to 3 is your heat addition, and 3 to 4 dash is your expansion, and 1 2 and 3 4 are isentropic processes. So it is given that the maximum temperature is 1200 Kelvin, so T3 is your 1200 Kelvin, and minimum temperature is 290 Kelvin, so T1 is your 290 Kelvin, and maximum pressure is the minimum pressure is 95 kPa, so pressure along this pole one is 95 kPa, and maximum pressure is 80 kPa, so pressure along 2 3 is your 380 kPa. Efficiency of turbine is 85%, 28%. Efficiency of compressor is 0.8. So uh, if we apply isentropic relation between 1 and 2, then T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by T1, there is power gamma minus 1 by gamma. Gamma is your 1.4, and P2 is 380, T1 is 95, and T1 is 290. So we can find out T2. So T2 comes out as 430.93 Kelvin. After finding out T2, we can find out T2 dash by using isentropic efficiency. So T2 minus T1 divided by isentropic efficiency of compressor will be equal to that temperature difference, T2 dash minus T1. Okay, so now we have T2, we have T1, and we have this efficiency. So T2 dash is your 466.165 Kelvin. Similarly, we can apply the isentropic relation between 3 and 4 also. So T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by T4 with power gamma minus 1 by gamma. And P3 is 380 and P4 is 95. Gamma is 1.4. Okay, and P3 is your 1200. So from this we can get T4. So T4 comes as 807.54 Kelvin. So now isentropic efficiency of turbine is known. So temperature difference, isentropic temperature difference across turbine multiplied by isentropic efficiency will be the actual temperature difference. Okay, so T4 dash is the actual point, and this is the isentropic point. You multiply it by isentropic efficiency, then the difference will be T3 minus T4 dash. Okay, so T4 dash can be calculated as 866.409 Kelvin. In case of compressor, we have to divide the compressor efficiency to the we have to divide the compressor efficiency to this isentropic temperature drop. In case of turbine, we have to multiply the isentropic efficiency to the isentropic temperature drop we calculate actual temperature drop. Okay. So now T4 dash is calculated, that is 866.409 Kelvin, and power is given, that is 20 megawatt or 20 into 10 power 6 watt. So that is the difference of turbine work minus turbine work per second minus compressor work per second. That is MCP T3 minus T4 dash is turbine work, and MCP T2 dash minus T1 is the compressor work. Now T3 we know, T4 dash we know, T2 dash we know, T1 we know, TP is given. So and so M can be calculated. So that is your mass unit. So it is 126.4117 kilogram per second. Okay. So now second part is to calculate volume flow rate. So using relation P1 V1 is equal to MRT1, because now M is known, T1 is known, P1 is known, V1 volume flow rate can be calculated. That is 110.7499 meter cube per second. Okay, now next part is section of work used to drive compressor of turbine work. So that is MCP, temperature drop or temperature increase across compressor, divided by MCP, temperature drop across turbine. So MCP will cancel out, so it will come out as 0.53. Next is to find out the cycle efficiency, that is W net by heat supplied. So that is heat is supplied from 2 dash to 3. Okay, so net work net power is given, that is 20 into 10 power 6, and we have calculated CP is 1.005. So efficiency comes out as 21.45%. Now if regenerator is introduced, then if regenerator is ideal, then this temperature should rise up to T4, but as regenerator efficiency is given, so it will not rise up to T4. So ideally it should rise by incorporating regenerator. Ideally this T2 dash temperature should rise up to this T4, but as regenerator efficiency is known, so it will rise up to X. Okay. So so Tx minus T2 dash is the actual temperature rise, and T4 dash minus T2 dash is your ideal temperature rise. So if we multiply ideal temperature rise with generator efficiency, regenerator efficiency, then this will be Tx minus T2 dash, and T2 dash is known, so from this Tx can be calculated, that is 6.348. So now if regenerator is applied, so we have to apply external heat from X to T3, not from 2 dash to 3. So heat supplied is less. Okay. So heat supplied is now this is T3, now this is your Tx. Okay, this is mass, this is Cp. So this is your power. So cycle efficiency will be more, that is 36.30%. So increase in efficiency, initially it was 21.45%, now it is 14.85%. So now this is the increase in efficiency, but here we can see that there is no effect on work done by incorporating regenerator. Regenerator will rise this temperature only, will raise this temperature only, not it will not affect this and this. So work done will remain same. So rise in efficiency or improvement in efficiency is 14.85%.